All right, everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be using the extended drying racks for the Cube freeze dryer here. We got different varieties of fruit, different mixed frozen fruits. Let me show you how we prepare them and get them ready for the Cube freeze dryer. So on our first tray here, we're putting 2 pounds of blueberries. Next, we're adding 2 pounds of frozen strawberries. Next, we're adding 2 pounds of pitted frozen cherries. Now we're adding 2 pounds of mixed frozen fruit. These are strawberries, pineapples, and mangoes, I'm pretty sure. So the large fruit, what we were doing is cutting them in half. That way they don't hit the extended drying racks that we're putting on top. And we cut all the fruit that looked like that it would interfere with the drying racks. Now what I'm using here is a meat tenderizer. And what this will enable me to do is to poke holes into the blueberries. Because if the blueberries don't have holes in it, or if you don't cut them in half, the moisture can't get out of the blueberries and the freeze dryer is going to have a hard time trying to dry them out. So this is a great way to put holes in them without having to cut every single one. I'm going to put a link in the description of the video where you can pick one up. And now we're ready to put the trays into the freezer. And these will be ready tomorrow. And now we're going to be slicing the fruit for the extended drying racks. These are mangoes. And we're going to be also cutting them in strips to lay on the drying racks. We're also using parchment paper because we were afraid that it would stick to the racks because the mangoes are pretty soft and mushy when they're not frozen, of course. So that's why we put the parchment paper. And next we're going to be cutting these apples up. And we decided to cut the slices in half again because we're worried about them being too thick and they may hit the shelf above it if they're too thick. So this is just a sure way of making sure that it won't hit. So with the bananas, we also used the parchment paper because we didn't want them to stick to the extended drying racks. The bananas were pretty soft and ripe. And here we're using pears, and just like the apples, we split them up like with the cutting tool here. And we also cut those in half again because we didn't want them to hit the shelf above. So now we're ready to put the extended drying racks in the freezer, but we decided to put parchment paper in between all the soft fruits like the bananas and the mangoes. That way they won't be touching the tray directly and sticking to it. All right, so we're going to get things started here. We're going to turn on the freeze dryer. Now once it loads, we hit start. And we hit frozen because our food is frozen. Got to check our drain valve. And yes, our drain valve is closed. Now once this gets to 30 degrees, we can load our food. Okay, the freeze dryer is ready. I got the fruits here, and I need to separate all the extended drying racks. Okay. Alright, that's not too bad. I was really worried about this sticking to the underside, and it looks like we're okay. Alright, we're good. Put that up here. Okay, that worked out really good. Okay, so now we're gonna put our blueberries and bananas in there. Yeah, it looks like it was a good idea to cut the fruit in half when I was using that slicer, because it may have hit the tray above, the shelf above. Put our bananas on top. Make sure there's nothing sticking on there. Let's see, we'll try our mangoes. Now we want to make sure the legs of the tray extenders go down into the actual tray, all the way down. Otherwise it'll be sticking up too much. And this mango might have been cut a little too thick. We'll see. It was a little on the thick side, but it'll still work. Ooh, that just barely made it. Yeah, the mangoes, didn't realize it, but they were pretty thick when we cut them. And our last tray. Boy, we got a lot of frost on it, on those trays underneath. Okay. Okay, what happened was I waited too long and the freeze dryer stopped. It does it automatically if once the temperature gets to 15 Fahrenheit. It'll automatically shut down so it doesn't constantly run all the time. If that happens, just wait a few minutes after it shuts down so the start capacitor can recharge itself to start up the compressor again. And all you have to do here is say yes, the food is loaded, and it should start right up. And hit start. Okay, we'll see you when it's done. Alright, so the freeze drying process is done. It took 55.5 hours. We're going to let the air out of the air back into the chamber, and we're going to check it out. These are the pears. Good. Okay, I'm going to put these on the table and we're going to check it out. Okay, these look done. I'm going to check the bottom part. So here we have the blueberries. Let me put these up here. These are the apples. They're definitely done. Bananas. They're definitely done. Those are good. Underneath here we got our cherries. Cherries are done. Now the cherries might be a little chewy on the inside. I think that's the sugar content. See the blueberries. Blueberries are done. Mangoes here. Let me just try a little piece. Oh yeah. Yeah. Strawberries are definitely done. Wow. Definitely done. Oh, those are delicious. The pears I tried already. And all this here, these are the mixed. I think these were strawberries, pineapple, and mangoes. These are all definitely done too. Okay, so we're going to put these away in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. If you probably heard this kick back on again, I forgot to turn it off. When this gets to around -12 or something like that, in other words, if this gets done and you can't get to it on time, like me, for instance, this ended at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's no way I was going to be doing this at 3 o'clock in the morning. So if that happens to you, don't worry about it. This will automatically shut off the refrigerant part. And once it gets back up to a certain temp, it'll kick back on again. In other words, it will maintain a certain temperature range so this thing doesn't constantly run and waste electricity. So that's a good plus there. So on the display here, it says, do you need more dry time? I'm going to put no. You could put yes if you needed more time. So I'm going to put no and hit complete. So that's all set. Now, if you wanted the option to defrost it, you can go back to the start screen and hit defrost. I'm just going to let this defrost naturally. But yeah, you got the option to defrost it if you got something else ready to put in there, or fairly ready anyways. Like I said, we're going to put these away now. These turned out really good. Alright guys, so if you're interested in a cube freeze dryer, I have a link in the description under the video, and there should be a coupon code there that'll help you out also. Appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.